Well, good evening, everybody. It's Bobby Harvey with another edition of an Amtrak station stop here in Ottumwa, Iowa, on what's turned out to be a pretty nice night here on March 16th, 2025. We are waiting for the westbound California Zephyr, which is running pretty much on time tonight. This is the first full week of daylight savings time. And last week I did a live stream of the train, and the train was about an hour late, so it came through after dark. Even though if it was running on time, it would have come in during the daylight hours. But right now, the train is running pretty much on time. So we started the stream promptly about 6:30 tonight. The train will be here, give or take, probably in the next 15 to 20 minutes, if not earlier. If they're running on time. Last time I knew, they were in Mount Pleasant a few minutes early, so that should put them in here probably within the next, like I say, 15 or 20 minutes, if not earlier. Sometimes if they're running really good and there's nothing in their way, they could sneak in here a little after 6:30, so we'll just have to see. So compared to last time, it was a pretty nice day last time, and it's turned out to be a pretty nice day this evening. It's been very windy and cold, but the wind has stopped now, and the sun is shining, and it's chilly. It's in the 40s, so it's a lot colder than it was last week, but it's not bad. So we are here on the station platform, roughly in the same spot we were last week. I went down the platform a little further this time, just by, a couple canopy posts. And the train, like I say, is running pretty much on time. The scheduled departure time here in Ottumwa, it was 6:53 p.m. for the longest time, for probably well over a decade. But more recently, I think last year, they adjusted the schedule a little bit. So now it is 6:57 for departure time, the actual scheduled departure time in Ottumwa. Got a few of you chiming in already. Nate says hello. Dakota says hello. Welcome, guys. Now, I did check on the Galesburg rail cam that virtual railfan has, just to make sure the Zephyr was running on time out of Galesburg before I decided to even do a stream. If it was really late, I wasn't going to worry about it, but it was running on time. There is a Phase VII Genesis locomotive leading tonight's train, Amtrak number 79, which I have seen before. I actually saw it, I think it was the first train I saw this year, was the westbound Zephyr with Amtrak 79 leading the train. It is leading tonight's train, one of the many P-42 locomotives that have been repainted in Amtrak's newest paint scheme. Phase VII is leading tonight's train, according to the Galesburg rail cam, which I know it was the Zephyr I looked at because when I was tuned into the Galesburg rail cam, the chief was already in the station, and it was a different train, so it was a longer train. The Southwest chief actually had quite a few extra cars on it. I think the chief actually has a full pre-COVID consist. 2 sleepers, a transition sleeper, dining car, lounge car, 3 coaches, and there was an extra baggage car on the train too. That was the Southwest chief in Galesburg tonight. But as I said, tonight's Zephyr is the normal post-COVID consist, if you will. A full consist, except there's only 2 coaches instead of 3, which is the normal consist for quite a few years now, but I think they're going to lengthen the consist again here pretty soon. They've gotten a lot of cars rehabilitated out of the maintenance facility in Beech Grove, so they're going to probably add some more cars in here pretty quick for the summer, I hope. Good, how are you? Got a close-up of the station there with the old CB&Q 3001 Hudson steam locomotive. Nice light on the station right now. Dakota says, you might recall last time that the audio was kind of messing up in my stream. Well, it turns out, according to Dakota, it was just his earbuds. That's all right. So we're looking east right now towards the station and the platforms down there. Old platforms are in the middle. Brand new refurbished platforms we're standing on right now. Now, for those of you that have not tuned into previous streams, the work on the platform is pretty much done. They've gotten all the work done, put up the fencing, platform stripes, the safety tread, everything is done. And the middle platform is actually going to be removed. That was not part of the original plans, but they were adjusted somewhat. So probably this spring and summer, they'll take out the old platforms in the middle, and that one will be completely eliminated. And it'll just leave this platform as being the only restored platform here at the station. But as I've said before, they did a good job with this platform. And even though I kind of wish they would keep the middle one too, it's a fair trade. I mean, I would rather have one fully restored, beautiful platform as opposed to two deteriorating and dilapidated platforms. Now, as I've discussed in previous streams, you might be wondering, well, how are passengers going to get on the train if the train is in on Main 2, which is the track farthest away from the station? Well, ideally, they won't. Amtrak is probably going to pull in on Main 1 pretty much indefinitely. BNSF has recently completed installing crossovers on the east and west of the station platforms, so they can cross Amtrak over regardless of what direction the train's going. They can cross Amtrak over onto Main 1 to do their station work and then back over to Main 2 if necessary. And that is similar to what they do in Fort Madison. Fort Madison Station got restored a few years back, the old station in downtown, and its platform is very similar. It's just one platform. The train makes its station stop on Main 1 every time. Now, I'm sure there will be instances where they can't pull the train in on Main 1 and have to use Main 2. But if that's the case, they'll probably just do several spots right in front of the station and just kind of have passengers just walk across and get on the train from there. Now, there's a little divot in the platform, kind of midway, where the original pedestrian crosswalk to the middle platform was. And I'm guessing during the restoration process, you can kind of see, it's kind of about where the conductor is down there right now. You can kind of see it. I'm sure in the original plans, they were planning on restoring both platforms, and there was going to be a walkway down there. I don't know if they're going to reinstall that. They probably will, just in case they have to use Main 2 for a station stop at one time or another. That way the passengers will have a safe way to cross the tracks if necessary. But ideally, in normal operations, they will not have to use Main 2 for station stops. And it'll actually be nicer because then Amtrak, the train won't have to get permission from the dispatcher to make sure that they're protected. So passengers won't have to worry about crossing the tracks in front of, freight trains and stuff. And the dispatchers will no longer, in a sense, have to hold back trains for Amtrak. I mean, they still will, but they won't have to worry about... It'll be easier, I guess, for the dispatcher to route Amtrak in and out. The new crossover to the east of the station is, not even a half mile east of here. Sometimes when it's dark, you can actually see the new signals for the crossover from the platform where we're standing. There have been several instances since they've installed this that Amtrak has come in going east on Main 1 and then cross over to Main 2 right after the station on the new crossover. Just like before, they will hold trains back at Iowa Avenue if there's any waiting for Amtrak, but the freight crew... The freight crew will actually have some...
tie that down, ATM set it up from it, someone to get you.
That's the CPKC dispatcher we're hearing there. Not this line, the other line in town. The dispatcher will still hold trains at Iowa Avenue for Amtrak, but the freight crews will have more of a, actual idea of whether there's any train there. They don't have to come all the way down to the Diamond to get a signal indication anymore, or Vine Street. As with that new crossover, which essentially replaced the old ABS signals at Vine Street, they would come in, a freight train that's stopping at Iowa Avenue, they would come in on an approach. And they would stop short of the stop signal at Vine Street so they're not blocking Iowa Avenue. Now before, I don't know, with the ABS signals, they probably wouldn't stop a freight train for Amtrak. They would just have to know to hold back. So it makes things a little more straightforward for the freight crews now when Amtrak is in the station. Just follow the signals. The BNSF extended the CTC from the IC and ERX, which is the Diamond crossing with CPKC that's west of us, to the new set of signals in the crossover east of us. And that's where CTC begins and ends, and it's still automatic block signal track warrant control east of here, essentially all the way to Burlington. There are a couple of CTC islands. And then essentially CTC, I think all the way from Burlington to Galesburg and on into Chicago from there. So we're looking east right now. a train, just let me know that number 5 is just past agency. Kirk is on the stream, asking how things are going. Things are going good. Very busy. Passengers are coming out of the station now, passengers and crew milling about, getting ready to come out on the platform. Yep, and here we go. Here is the train now. Amtrak's California Zephyr is approaching the station with Phase VII locomotive 79 in the lead.
Someone's back up. Just back to AMTK 09. I got a green 74 formation. Get back to ready. 74-28 display measure
So Amtrak has arrived in the station about 12 minutes early. They'll be departing right on time. There's the warning whistle. Train's about ready to pull out. So our locomotives on the train tonight, second unit, number 19, and the leader in Phase VII paint, Amtrak 79.
good when you break that for up.
What's that? Oh, just their conversations and stuff, the radio chatter from the trains. Yeah, yeah, conductor and engineer, dispatcher. Not usually. It's usually business. Yeah. Helps you know when the trains are coming, though.
Where's the going?
Hopping on the one tomorrow is the first time I've ever got Amtrak, so
Yeah.
through Chicago and then to California.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been through the Chicago, like the change trains in Chicago.
It's been a while since I've actually changed train. I usually get off in Chicago. I don't go any further, but yeah, it's.
It's not that complicated. I think they
Oh no, no, it's pretty easy. Take care. Well, with that, we have Amtrak's westbound California Zephyr disappearing into the sunset with a right-on-time departure from the Ottumwa station at 6:57 p.m. promptly. Here's hoping they stick to their schedule most of the way. So, we're going to keep things going for another 15 minutes or so, just to make sure there's nothing else coming. It was a pretty straightforward arrival and departure of Amtrak tonight. Locomotive 79 and 19 in charge. Standard consist. And if you can see down there, you can actually see Amtrak way down there in the distance. You can barely see it, making the turn past the diamond with the CPKC. Kind of just right past the warning sign on the end of the platform. You can kind of see them just barely curving there. There's the end of the train. Picking up speed as they head west. Next station stop is in Osceola, Iowa, in about an hour. After that, it's Creston, then Omaha, Lincoln, and all points west, all the way to Emeryville, California. 2 days from now. So it's a pretty nice night tonight. It's a lot more chilly than it was last week when I did one of these streams, but the wind has finally died down, and it's a pretty nice evening. So we're going to pan back around to the station here. There's the water plant. And back to the station platform, facing east of the station itself, and the CB&Q steam locomotive 3001. So like I say, we're going to keep things going for another 15 minutes or so, like I said in my little introductory notice on my YouTube channel and Facebook, just to make sure there isn't anything else coming. On our last stream, we managed to get 2 freight trains before Amtrak, because Amtrak was running about an hour late. The train came and went today right on time. They're about 12 minutes early and departed right on time. Which, if they're running on time from Mount Pleasant, they usually have that amount of padding in the schedule to allow them to make their full stop and then still be able to depart on time here in Ottumwa, because Ottumwa is not only a crew change point for the train, it is also a so-called fresh air stop where they allow pretty much any passenger on the train that wants to get out and stretch their legs and smoke a cigarette, if you do such things, the ability to do so. So even if you're continuing west on the train tonight, if you've been on since Chicago and you want to get out and stretch your legs, walk the platform a little bit, you can. That's why they do the warning whistle before they actually leave. That allows everybody that's on the platform to have plenty of time to race back to their designated car and get back on the train before they leave. This is also a crew change point, the first crew change point for the Zephyr after leaving Chicago, the origin destination for the train we just saw. Amtrak 5, California Zephyr, is running right on time tonight. And this is how it is in summer. In Ottumwa, you can see the eastbound and westbound Zephyrs in daylight. Fall and winter, you can only see the eastbound train in daylight hours. During late fall and winter, the westbound is always after dark. But now with springtime coming, we're just a few days away from the first day of spring. The vernal equinox, when we have an equal amount of daylight and darkness, will be this Thursday, March 20th, the first day of spring. And as the days continue to get longer all the way up to the summer solstice, which is in the end of June, you'll be getting more and more light at this time of night. With daylight savings time, where the hours get pushed an hour ahead, change the clocks an hour ahead in early March, and that goes until the end of October, or maybe the first week of November now. Pretty sure it is. At its peak, around the first day of summer, the sunlight lasts until about almost 9:30, deep in summertime. Of course, without daylight savings time, which they're talking about doing away with it, that would be about 8:30. But here in America, we have daylight savings time where the time gets pushed an hour ahead, and that's to allow more time, more sunlight in the evening. I'm not sure what the real origins of daylight savings time were. I've heard that maybe it was to allow farmers more time in the fields in the evenings. Many, many years ago, whenever it was started. But I don't know if that's true or not. But it is nice having sunlight out that long in the afternoons and evenings as summer gets close. So A train. Okay, he said the farmers one is a myth. Well, I wondered about that, so I wasn't. That's why I wasn't sure. I heard that, and then I, wasn't sure if it was true. Okay, what we're hearing right now, if you guys can hear that, something on the CPKC, but now eventually I'm going to do a stream where I'm in the car and start doing that sort of thing again, doing like a trains on the go kind of thing. I'm not worried about doing that tonight, but I am planning on doing that again in future streams. I'm going to try and have my streams here this year to have more of a common theme. Like we're doing an Amtrak station stop, we're going to be pretty much planted here at the station, see Amtrak and whatever else comes by. And then a like on the go episode, live stream, where I'm in the car most of the time, just jumping around from track to track, getting as many trains as I can in the time period that I'm filming. So we'll do some of those. Then we'll probably do some more live streams of my model trains, which I haven't done since 2023. The layout has been changed quite a bit. It's a little more user-friendly, and it's a lot more exciting. Still working on it, of course, but thought of maybe doing some streams down there. Maybe on nights that the weather isn't very favorable or something like that. I think it is fun to do one of these at least once a week. So we got about 5 minutes left in tonight's stream. A little clock on the wall tells me that it's about time to skidoo for tonight, but we're gonna keep this going. At least once a week if I can. I probably won't get one in every week, but I like to try. These are a lot of fun to do, and I'm glad that you guys all tune in to watch. We're going to keep things going, though, for another 5 minutes, just to make sure that nothing else is on its way. I really haven't taken a look at the signals yet to see if there's anything lined up. I'm going to do that really quick. Step away here for a second. Okay, both sets of signals, which I can actually see both of them from here. I don't think you can see... Let's zoom up really quick on the eastbound signal. I had the camera moved a little bit today, so you might be able to see it. Yeah, you kind of can, just right through there, just barely. I don't know if I can point to it really quick with my finger here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right in there. You can kind of see the signal, and it is red for eastbound trains. And the signals for westbounds down at the IC&E RRX is also red. So they're lit, which means there might be something, you know, coming eventually, but there's no indication of anything. We won't worry about it. But so for the next few minutes, I'll just chat with you guys and answer some questions and give you some previews of some upcoming projects I have going on besides my live streams. The Old Threshers video, which took me long enough to finish, but I finally finished it. Actually, this is the earliest I've finished an Old Threshers video in 3 years. The 2021 video, I think I released it in like July of 2022, so really late. The 22 video I released, maybe that was the 22 video. I don't know. Whichever one that was. I released it in maybe June, and the 2023 video I released in May of last year. Still very late after Old Threshers, but this time for the video from last year, 2024, I just released last week. So, and with the Old Threshers video, I still have to, you know, watch a few of them. I still burn my videos off on DVD and Blu-ray. Which I like doing. I like having an actual copy of my videos. I can just pop in the video player and play it. I just need to kind of verify the Blu-ray copy, make sure it looks okay, and then that project will be officially done, and then I will be essentially all caught up with my full-length, feature-length video projects. For the first time in quite a few years, I've always been playing catch-up, and I'm just about caught up now. Of course, I have the footage for many, many, many other videos that I could do. So it won't be very hard for me to find another project to work on. I have a few ideas on my plate that I'd like to make and publish before this year's Old Threshers reunion. And I'd kind of like to, because it seems like I always have an ongoing project that I'm working on when the Old Threshers reunion comes around, and then it's like I have to finish that video before I start the Old Threshers video, and then it just kind of, you know, snowballs, and it takes me a while to get the Old Threshers video done. This year, I'm going to try and time it so I'm not working on any other projects like a month or a month and a half before Old Threshers even begins. So that way, when Old Threshers comes, I can film everything and then start right into working on the Old Threshers video in hopes of getting it released a lot sooner after the reunion, like maybe, you know, October or November, instead of, you know, 3 months into the following year. That way I won't, fall behind on doing any other videos that I'd like to do. But I have a couple of ideas for future videos. My California Zephyr video, which I've been accumulating footage for the past 6 years almost. I essentially have all the footage for it, so that might be my next video, but that is going to be a very, very large project. But it's going to be a good one, so I'm going to take my time if I decide to do that one next. Another video that I've thought of maybe doing before Galesburg Railroad Days this year is a compilation video of some of the trains that I've gotten at Galesburg Railroad Days over the years, which I really haven't done anything with the footage that I've taken at Railroad Days trackside over the years. The first time I went to Railroad Days was 2015, and I'm pretty sure I went back in 2016, 17, 18, and the next time I went was, I went last year. I don't think I went the year before. So, but several years worth of Railroad Days footage that I could compile into a video, and I'd like to do that. So I might do that. I might have time to do both of those before the Old Threshers reunion. We will see. But like I say, I'm going to try and clean my palette long before Old Threshers so that after Old Threshers, I can get all that video done. And not have to be backed up. All right, so we're about done here. A-Train says there was a southbound mixed freight by Washington at 5:30. That's on the CPKC, so we're not going to go down there tonight. There was a CPKC train crossing over right before Amtrak. Right before I started the stream, there was a CPKC train. I don't know if that was the 260 they were talking about earlier or not. May have been another one. Might have been a 250 or something like that. Dakota asks if anyone caught the lunar eclipse the other night. I heard about it, but I didn't actually go out and see it. We probably wouldn't have been able to see it here in Ottumwa because it was a clear night, but I kind of forgot about it. I went out and the moon was full, and then later on I forgot about it, so it came and went. I did see the solar eclipse last year though. That was pretty neat. Kirk asks, what made you decide to pursue content creator as your career path? Well, this isn't my full-time job. This is a kind of a side thing, and it's essentially just a hobby. I've loved trains my whole life, and so this is just one avenue of pursuing my hobby, is making train videos and sharing them with you guys, and just a lot of fun. And I've been filming train videos for, well, over 20 years, but this is the official 20th year of Bobby Harvey Video Productions. I made my first video with that name in June of 2005. So this is the 20th anniversary year of essentially what I've been doing here on YouTube for almost 20 years. I started my YouTube channel in 2008. But overall, I've been making polished off videos like the ones you see on my channel for almost 20 years. Okay, well, the little clock on the wall is telling me that it is time to wrap things up for tonight. Looks like we just got Amtrak tonight, but it was a pretty good train. Right on time with a Phase VII locomotive leading. That was pretty neat. And nice crisp night, but nice sunlight all the way around. And a pretty nice sunset. I'll pan over real quick and show it to you. Not really spectacular, but it's a nice clear sky. And eventually, get pictures of this platform while I can, because eventually this platform will be coming down, the one in the middle. So with that, we had a pretty straightforward stream for tonight. So we got Amtrak here at the station right on time, 12 minutes early, departing right on time. And we are going to wrap things up for tonight. Yeah, a few more questions and comments here. Dakota says, hope CPKC brings out 2816 again. Well, it'll probably be a few more years, most likely, because that was a big trip there. A lot of fun. Got to see them up in Minnesota, coming right through here, out and back. It was a lot of fun. And also at the little event they did in Silvis last year, the Railroading Heritage of Midwest America. I checked that out, too. That was pretty neat. If you guys are interested in seeing my video I got from that, my video is called Arrival of CPKC. It's on my channel. If you haven't watched it yet, check it out. It has all the footage that I got of 2816, as well as a bunch of other CP and CPKC trains from around here. Dakota also says that he got some okay photos of the solar and lunar eclipse with his phone. He was up until about 4 a.m. watching it. Well, that's pretty cool. Speaking of early rising, baseball season is coming up soon, and of course I am a huge Chicago Cubs fan. They're actually going to play a couple of games to essentially kick off the season in Japan. They're going to be in a couple days, and they're early games because they're night games in Tokyo. And of course, Tokyo is several hours ahead of us, almost a day ahead of us. So I'll have to get up at about 5 in the morning to listen to those games, and I will. Okay, so with that, we've about reached the end of things here. It's pretty quiet, no action. I'm going to check one more time. The signals to the east are actually out now, so there's no eastbounds, and the westbound signals are still red. So with that, folks, that is the end of tonight's stream. Thank you all for joining in, and I'll try and do these weekly. I'll send out a notice on my YouTube channel like I always do before I start the streams, and we'll see you guys later. It's been a good night. Thank you all for joining in, and we'll see you all next time. So long, everybody.